Welcome to Living with Ulcerative Colitis. I'm Maya. Today we're going to talk about beads of courage. And this was in my hospital. It was a program for chronic patients or patients that were going to be in the hospital for a long length of time. And it was to help them keep up morale, and it was to help them have something to look forward to. This program was on the children's ward, which I was lucky enough to be on because the children's ward has all the programs and the adult ward doesn't have this. But you can look up this program online and you can buy the beads yourself so that you can give it to your child or the person in the hospital that's been there a while. And it really helped me. I have...
Well, tell a little bit about it first.
No, I know it got stuck to the thingy.
Okay.
I was in the hospital for, as you know, a month. I was there for a month, and
The first time
that I was in the hospital, and they couldn't figure out how to treat me at first, so I was going to be prepared to be there for a while, and that kind of lowers your morale. It kind of makes you feel like a feeling of hopelessness. And then this guy that works in the
Children's Services
and Entertainment, he came in and he introduced himself and he said that he had something for me. And I was a little out of it because I was on different medications, but he was like, we have a program and it's called the Chronic Program Daily Bead Prescription. And in the program, different things that happen throughout your day, depending on what your diagnosis is or why you're there.
or procedures
That you're there for. You need certain things, like you'll need blood drawn, or you'll need a dressing change for your central line, or you'll need like
an EKG.
Like you would need these different things, and when you're going to them, they're kind of nerve-wracking, and and so when I would go to them before he came, I was like, well, I gotta get this done. But this...
You were always shaky and scared.
Yeah, this gave me something to look forward to. And so basically, anytime one of these things happened, you got a bead. And I began to get I really loved this system, and I would go through and be like, when do I get this bead? And he would be like, you do not want that bead. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this was my booklet, and so every time you got this bead, you would write the number of beads that you got and the date. And of course, he would come every 3 days, and I would have written down which beads I got, and then he would give them to me. And these are my... Oops. This is my beads collection. There are 2 necklaces here.
Which means you received a lot of treatment.
I received a lot of treatments, and I am very proud of this collection because it does say on the front, this is a story of courage, honor, and hope. And though most things just say stuff, this honestly shows me that I had a lot of strength. Because I can go through this book and tell you what each of these beads are for. So, for instance... Ooh. These red beads, most people can guess.
Come closer.
These red beads, most people can guess, are for when you got blood drawn. And that happened quite a lot on this necklace and on this one. And then orange were for central lines. So this color for central lines. And for those that don't know, a central line is something that goes in your arm so that you can get fluids and IV, but instead of stabbing you multiple times, it just stays on your arm. And the procedure, though not fun, it stays on your arm for as long as like more than a couple of days, and it's there, so they don't have to keep poking you, which I liked, but I didn't like the procedure bit going. And then I went MPO quite a lot, and that means no food by mouth. And though that was very, very annoying, I have a lot of beads for it. This is what the dark green bead stands for. And then I never got the glow-in-the-dark bead, which I'm happy for, but having it, you were like, when do I get this bead? And that bead is for an EKG or an echocardiogram. Yeah, and that bead glows in the dark. And I was like, when do I? And he said, you don't want that bead. And he was right. I did not want that bead. And then we have magenta, which, yeah. We have magenta, and this was for an emergency. And for most of you that have watched this video for a while know that I had to have an emergency surgery. And this is the bead that you get for that. And I don't have any light blue beads, because that's for eye exams, and I didn't need that, luckily. But, you know, I was like, where's my bead? And, and then if you had, I think this is the Lyme bead, and this basically meant you had a fever. And I didn't have quite a fever, but when I had my emergency surgery, my temperature went up, I guess, and so I got the fever bead. And all of these things, they don't sound very nice at all, but the beads were like a badge. Like, you survived that, here's a bead. And it went towards the collection. And these beads, the ones that are bigger and kind of cooler, like the little anchor and the like, these beads, those were for particularly high stress situations. Like, for instance, this is the only bead that matters. This bead means hospital discharge. So when you got this bead, you were leaving. And the guy, he used to make this joke of when you're leaving the hospital is, you're not leaving the hospital until you are down the driveway and driving home. And that is a very true sentiment, because they would be like, you can leave in like a couple of days. And they'll be like, you can't go yet. So when I saw that bead, I was like, we're out. Let's go. And then these bumpy beads, for medication challenges. So I had an instance where I couldn't take a certain pill because it affected me in a bad way, like it made me itch, and they had to change my medication. And though that's not a great thing, I got the bead, 2 of them actually. And so these things, they really helped make being in the hospital not seem as bad or as stressful, or certain procedures as painful. And I feel like it really helped me, because I can look back on it and I can tell you exactly all the things I had to go through when I was in the hospital. And I can tell you how strong I had to be to go through all of these things. And for most kids in the hospital, hospital can seem like a very sad and dreary place. And so that brought some light to my life. And so I'm really thankful for my hospital's program.
I wanted to say, you were 17 when they gave you that, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
I went under the line just barely.
So they bring those beads in all the way up to the age of 18. So if you have a child or teenager, all the way up to the age of 18, whether they're your child or, just someone that you would like to support. You can go to beadsofcourage.com or no, beadsofcourage.org and check out their website there. If you just
learn more about it.
To learn more about it, or you can call your hospital or ask, whoever's attending you on child services. The child services is filled with psychologists who come in and visit the children on the children's ward. And
they're amazing.
They're amazing. And just ask them if you have a chance to, or ask the nurse because they may know as well.
Yeah, and then you can get really delightful stories.
Well, it's delightful after the fact.
Yes.
It's not
delightful. It's not during. And then you'll finally get your green bead, and you'll know we out. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, share, subscribe. I will put all of these compilation of videos in their own playlist we're currently having technical difficulties with that. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!